What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of On the Couch Book Reviews. Now, as you'll notice, I'm not on the Samsung Q or the 88 Plus because today my phone had just finished charging and I didn't feel like plugging up a mic. So I have some news for you guys. I'm not using the Q2U as of right now because it just doesn't fit. I know before in my last podcast I said the 88 Plus doesn't fit my needs or whatever, but it does actually fit my needs better than the Q2U because I've done several different tests and just the 88 Plus just fits better. So that's what I'm gonna keep using, along with sometimes I might just record like straight up on my iPhone because it's just easy that way. So I have two books to review for you guys today. The first one is Forget This Ever Happened by Cassandra Rose Clark. Now, this book is kind of like Stranger Things, as there's this town and it's in the 90s instead of the 80s. It's in the 90s, so it's still right around that time era. It's in a Texas town, and I listened to the the graphic audio version of it. So really good, really excellent acting. Claire is moving in with her grandmother to help her take care of some stuff over the summer, basically to take care of her, help take care of her. And so basically she's like, I don't know if I want to live here because it's Texas, it's hot. The acting is phenomenal in the graphic audio version because that's the one I listened to, like I said. And so the way they describe the Texas heat is sweltering, and everything is just described in a lot of like detail, and you can hear and plus there's like when you go into this town, you go there, and then when you leave the town, you lose your memory of ever being there, which is weird because, you would think if you went to a town, you will remember it, right? So, basically, you go there, and like I said, you forget you were ever there. Now, and just doesn't happen to tourists. This happens to everybody. And so Claire's outside one night and she sees this creature, and she describes it as a fuzzy alligator. It's like a fuzzy alligator or a lizard, and their footsteps are like they sound like big dinosaurs just walking, just doom, doom, doom. I can't exactly do it how they do it in the graphic audio, but that is well designed as well. Now, so she calls the exterminator people, and they send this girl out named Julie, and Julie is she's your average run teenage girl, and she is she works at the exterminator place, and her father owns the video store and everything. Well, her grandmother doesn't like her hanging out with Julie. Her grandmother wants her to hang out with this girl named Audrey. And Audrey is weird because, the first time she meets Audrey's just all bubbly and happy and go-lucky. And, people like that are just happy-go-lucky all the time. And usually something ain't right with them. I understand, being happy and stuff, but you can't have every day in your life where everything is happy-go-lucky all the time. If you do, I ain't judging nobody, man, but, I just feel like if you just have every day in your life where something doesn't go, if you have a day in your life every day where something is just always happy, just happy, everything is all happy all the time, no. it's one thing if you show it to people when you have something going on, but just to, I don't know. But anyways, that's beside the point. So she's a very happy, go lucky girl, and just Claire don't feel right about it, and so she's showing her around the town and everything, and Claire's like, okay, maybe this place won't be as bad as I thought, and as she gets to know this girl more, she's like, nah, I'm not really feeling it. So she gets to know Julie more, and Julie is like, she feels like she's better with Julie than yeah. So yeah, with Audrey, she feels like she's better friends with Julie than Audrey. And so, like, as you get further on into the book, you find out that Audrey is into some weird shit, because there's one part in the book where she takes her out onto the beach and she's showing her this game, like this game, and it's doing weird shit to her. Meantime, more monsters keep showing up and stuff, and just talking about this and talking about that, and it's crazy. There's so much mystery to it, so much layer to it, man. So that's Forget This Ever Happened by Cassandra Rose Clark. Now I read the graphic audio version, but there is a audio version, I'm sure, on Audible or somewhere where you can find it. So the next book I have for y'all is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Now I read this one in graphic audio too, but it is available on Bard, which, if you don't know what Bard is, it is the Braille audio reading download service. If you read it on Bard, it's read by Bonnie Turpin. Great narrator for regular audiobooks. Really have enjoyed her narrations when I've read books that she has narrated. So yeah. But anyway, so we're gonna review this here. Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. So it starts out with Patricia, and they're in a book club, and they're trying to figure out what kind of stuff they want to read. So they start reading these crime novels and everything. So then, now this is where stuff gets really weird. This dude named James Harris moves into the neighborhood. Stuff starts going really weird. Like, rats start showing up everywhere. Oh yeah, and if you have a fear of rats and bugs, I will warn you, this book is very intensive on sound effects and very descriptive. So there's a scene in the book where, now grant you, I'm gonna skip a little bit ahead here. There's a part in the book that really is like, whoa. So after James Harris moves in, people start disappearing. Kids start disappearing from this place called 6 Mile. And Mrs. Green, who is helping take care of Carter's mom, Miss Mary, who is living with Patricia, they go there after something happens to Miss Mary. I'm not gonna tell y'all what, but so there's this scene where all these rats show up in the house, and they're just everywhere. Just everywhere, yo. And so there's that. And then basically, so they show up to 6 Mile after what happens to Miss Mary, and Mrs. Green is there, and she starts telling them about how kids are disappearing and stuff like that. And they're like, well, what can we do? We really can't do anything, because that's that's a matter for the police to handle. And they're like, well, Mrs. Grant's like, well, y'all got kids, whatever is coming after these people, whatever coming after our kids could come after your kids next. And so they like, yeah. So, so it's like, so then, you start seeing other stuff go on, and it's really weird. So like, you find out some more about James Harris that you didn't know, and it's like, whoa, man, this dude is into all kind of shit. And like, then the women's book club turns more into a men's book club because, the men start finding out all this stuff that the women are saying about James Harris, and they're like, nah, it's all bullshit. But actually, it's not bullshit, as you'll see later on in the book. And Carter is just like, your stuff's going on with you. You need to chill. You need to stop doing this, stop doing that, and blah, 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 blah. And, Patricia's just like, what are we doing this for? If y'all not going to believe us, what are we doing this for? And, so what's going on with James Harris, and what is he really? And who or what is taking kids from this area? I don't know, man. Y'all gonna have to read the books. And I hope y'all enjoy both of these books, man, because these books were really good. I really enjoyed the graphic audio experience. So, yeah, man. And like I said, no longer using the Samsung Q2U, back on the 88 Plus for my next podcast, probably. So more podcasts to come in the future, and actually I'm probably going to upload some older podcasts from the On the Couch Book Reviews YouTube channel. I have 30 videos that I'm probably going to upload just as audio, because I'm trying to grow the podcast as well. So that's gonna really do it for me, man. Hope y'all enjoyed the episode, and I'm out. Peace. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Let's see.